Would you all love to listen to a story? Yes, a story of a young brother and sister who have lost their way to home. But for this, you need to join in with me to know more about this story. Once in the woods lived a brother and sister named Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father and a cruel, stubborn stepmother. The father was a poor woodcutter. One day, the father said, "We have no money left and we have no food to eat." Then, "Hansel and Gretel cannot live here," said the stepmother. "They have to go deep in the woods." What? The father was shocked. "No, no," said the father. "I cannot do this." "They have to, and they must go to the woods." You know, the Hansel and Gretel were listening to this conversation. And Hansel got an idea. He went out and collected some pebbles. Now, why do you think he must have collected these pebbles? Yes, let's find out. The next day, they all went into the woods. And Hansel dropped those pebbles which he had collected the other day on the path. After walking for some time, their father said, "Children, you please wait here. I shall go and collect some wood." Hansel and Gretel waited, but their father did not turn up. Now, how are this brother and sister going to go back home? Hansel, remember those pebbles? He followed those pebbles and they both reached back home. And when they reached home, their father was very glad and very happy to see them. But the stepmother fumed with anger. She said, "We don't have more food to eat. They have to go deep into the woods. And this time they should not find their way back home." "No, no," said the father. "I cannot do this. They must, and they have to go to the woods." Hansel and Gretel's stepmother locked the door. Now Hansel could not go out and collect the pebbles. Now what is he going to do? Any idea? Any guesses? Yes, the next day they again went into the woods. This time Hansel dropped breadcrumbs on the path. And they walked. After walking for some time, their father said, "Children, you please wait here. We shall go and I shall go and get some woods." Poor children, they waited and waited and waited. Their father did not turn up again. Hansel and Gretel looked for the breadcrumbs, but all the breadcrumbs were eaten by the birds. Now how are these children going to go back home? They walked and they walked deep in the woods. In the middle of the wood, there was a house. This was not a simple house. This house was made of cake, sweets, and in that house lived a witch who had already planned to eat Hansel and Gretel. She locked the Hansel in the cage and gave him lots and lots of food to eat so that he becomes nice, fat and healthy, and so that she can roast him nicely and eat him. But Gretel said, Where is the fire? I cannot see any fire." The witch said, Here is the fire." She opened the oven door and she showed the fire. But Gretel still could not see the fire. She opened the door wide open of the oven. But still Gretel could not see the fire. Again, she opened the door wide open, and this time Gretel pushed the witch into the fire, and she let Hansel out of the cage. The house had a lot of money, and they took that money so that they can buy food. Finally, these children, they went back home. The father was very happy and glad to see the children, and the cunning, stubborn, adamant stepmother had gone. Hansel, Gretel and their father lived in a house happily ever after in the woods. This is a beautiful story of Hansel and Gretel, illustrated by Marina Leray. And you can see the beautiful illustrations. You can see the beautiful house. You can see the witch. How she has locked Hansel in a cage. So I hope you enjoyed this story of Hansel and Gretel, a Ladybird publication, and I hope you enjoyed this story. Please do share, like and subscribe to my channel, The Story Katta. Thank you.